Nuclear envoys from South Korea, Japan, and the United States met Thursday in Japan for a trilateral summit. Gads Inoue gives us more details.
Special Representative for Korean Peninsula Peace and Security Affairs Kim Gun and his U.S. and Japanese counterparts Sam Kim and Takehiro Funakoshi held talks in the southwestern part of Japan over matters concerning North Korea's latest launch of ballistic missiles. The talks were held in Karuizawa in the southeastern part of the Nagano Prefecture in Japan, where the three leaders strongly condemned this provocative act by North Korea and discussed ways to effectively counter North Korea's series of provocative acts through multiple test fires of its ballistic missiles. Kim Gun said, and I quote, "Kim Jong-un thought that by heightening threats of a nuclear attack, he would gain respect and have things his way. However, instead of being intimidated or conceding, the ROK and the U.S. have upgraded the alliance through the Washington Declaration. To put it simply, Kim Jong-un has reached a dead end." End of quote. Kim remarked that the recent talks of the Nuclear Consultative Group were particularly meaningful for enhancing their combined response to deter North Korea's launching of ballistic missiles. However, the envoys reiterated that South Korea, Japan, and United States are still open to a dialogue with North Korea and agreed to close communication and coordination to bring the country back on the path to denuclearization. Ijo, Nihon kara Gads Inoue kokoteshimashita. SMN News, Japan.
North Korea is reportedly not responding to calls from the United States over the soldier who illegally crossed the demilitarized zone from South Korea. Let's find out more from Sherry Hayes.
American officials have yet to hear anything back from North Korea over an American soldier who suddenly bolted across the border from South Korea. 23-year-old Private Second Class Travis T. King is an American soldier on a tour of the Joint Security Area on the border of the Panmunjom village. Reports say he suddenly bolted between the blue buildings and crossed into North Korea.
We are still gathering information, but we do not have any of those details at this point.
U.S. officials said King crossed the border without authorization from the military. He was reportedly facing disciplinary action by the American military at that time.
What we do know is that one of our service members who was on a tour willfully and without authorization crossed the military demarcation line. We believe that he is in DPRK custody. And so we're closely monitoring and investigating the situation.
And now the U.S. officials are calling North Korea to clarify the situation as they continue to scramble for King's whereabouts. Although North Korea did not respond to any calls from the U.S. over the matter, it recently conducted test fires of 2 short-range ballistic missiles in the East Sea.
I will say that we condemn the DPRK's ballistic missile launches, as we have condemned their previous ballistic missile launches. They are in violation of multiple UN SC resolutions. They pose a threat to the DPRK's neighbors and the international community. We remain committed to a diplomatic approach to the DPRK, calling them to engage in dialogue, and our commitments to the defense of the Republic of Korea and Japan remain ironclad.
It can be remembered that North Korea said that it was the United States and South Korea that are provoking them for establishing a nuclear war planning group against Pyongyang's missile program. Seoul, Isabugo, Sher Hayes, Imnida, SMN News, South Korea.
Australia imposed the latest wave of sanctions against entities and individuals found to have been helping Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This report from Sheena Selim.
The new round of sanctions imposed by Canberra against Moscow covered 35 entities in Russia's defense technology and energy sectors, as well as 10 individuals, including Russian ministers, senior officials, and senior military personnel in Belarus. According to Foreign Affairs Minister Penny Wong, the decision was made in collaboration with international partners. Wong said the move aims to disrupt entities and individuals who are directly or indirectly supporting Russia. The senator added the sanctions emphasized Australia's commitment to working with partners in maintaining pressure on Russia and those supporting the ongoing war. Among those sanctioned were the CEO of the country's largest producer of military helicopters, as well as Russian companies supplying technology and equipment to the country's armed forces. The latest round of sanctions served as an act of retaliation after the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs last month banned nearly 48 high-profile Australian citizens from entering the country and slammed them for their Russophobic ties. Reporting from New South Wales, this is Shina Selim, SMNI News, Australia.